This time on Ask Rad Rat, we're talking about low impact skating for old guys, we're talking about truck companies, we're talking about trendy new Instagram filming styles with GoPros and stuff, and a lot more as well. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Rad Rat Video, channel where you can learn new things about skateboarding. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch up on all the new stuff coming up soon. Got lots of different series about skateboarding topics. Today, this is my series about Ask Rad Rat, where I answer questions that you submitted to my website, radratvideo.com. And we'll get to that stuff in a second, but you may notice that things look a little bit different if you're very sharp-eyed. I'm not sure how noticeable it will be, but I got a brand new camera. I have a nice 4K camera now. The videos aren't going to be going up in 4K, at least for a while, because the processing when you upload it on YouTube can be really weird. It could take weeks sometimes from what I've heard, or just not work, and then you got to re-upload it, and I'm not sure if I want to make that jump yet. But shooting in 4K and scaling it down to 1080 is going to look a lot cleaner than my old camera, which was a Canon Vixia HF100. Bought this in 2007, and it was not brand new at the time. This was not the new model back then. Yeah, there was a lot of issues with this thing. It shoots in either 720p or 1080i, which if you're into the filming side of skateboarding at all, you know that's very old, very out of date, and terrible. Also, the SD cards, I can only record about an hour at a time. I hooked this guy up and I got a 128 gig card in there, and it said I could shoot for 6 hours. So that's nice. Sometimes I fill up cards while I'm recording because I try to do it all in batches. But yeah, things are getting a little better on the channel. I bought the camera and I bought a nice mic for my computers for doing like the voiceover parts and stuff. But yeah, just making some improvements. Hopefully you notice, hopefully it looks better. Let's get into your questions. First one is from a guy named Ian, and he says, my question today is about cross-branding. I like to rep the skate brands I support and feel support skateboarding in return as best they can. Sometimes this means I wear, for example, Adidas shoes, Huff socks, a Vans shirt, and an S hat. My friends say that this is quote-unquote illegal, but hey, I'm not a sponsored skater, so why should this matter? And then he asks, is it morally wrong to represent brands in direct competition in one outfit, or should I tune out the haters? And I thought this was really funny because I just imagine a couple people like arguing about this. Like, it's wrong to have a Nike shirt and a S while you're wearing S shoes or something like that. And I have had people ask questions about this type of thing before, and it's just so weird to me because you're right, you're not sponsored. You're not being paid to represent a specific brand. You don't owe exclusive loyalty to a certain brand in any way, which, as far as wearing clothes, is such a low bar. It's like, you know, there are people when I was growing up who were like, they were either into Sega or Nintendo, and you would fight about it, and like, but that's a few $100 system when you're a little kid. This is like a t-shirt, which one you picked off the shelf that day, or pulled out of your closet. Like, it's such a small thing. So if you wear different shoe brands everywhere, I think it would be kind of funny if you're wearing shoe brand hat, shoe brand shirt, shoe brand socks, and shoe brand shoes, but they're all different. It would be kind of funny, but no, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I have some skate shirts that I wear for brands that I don't even ride, like different deck brands and stuff. Like, I just like the shirt. It's a skate company. They got a couple bucks from me. It's cool, but like, I'm not trying to match my shirt to which deck I'm skating at the time. Like, it doesn't matter, man. Wear stuff you like to wear. I don't really like to wear brand shirts at all. I have my own brand shirt, and even that I don't wear too much. I just tend to wear plain colors, but I'm very boring. But if you like to wear and show support for skateboarding and like rep skate brands while you're out in public, like, don't worry about it. And your friends are wrong. You can show them this video and I'm telling them they're wrong. All right, next question is from Corey. He says, I was wondering if you could recommend some good low impact tricks for those of us who still love skating but have managed to screw up their joints over the years. Yeah, I've been there. I've had two major joint issues in my life. First was I sprained my ankle really bad. The doctor said it should have broken because it could have set it and then it would have healed back in place instead of like slowly having to warp back to where it should have been. And I had such a hard time with that because it was my left foot, which is my front foot. So any kind of flick stuff was, no, I could not do it. And I was trying to maybe do some switch, so like I could flick with my right foot, but the problem was it would still hurt if I landed wrong or something like that. So like, it was tough. What I ended up doing there's a lot of stuff where I'd plant my foot. So I'd do like boneless and no comply stuff and all that. And I got really into that stuff for a while because it was all I could safely do. I could plant my foot, it's not going to get twisted, and I start the trick. If it looks like it's working, I'll jump on it. Like, it's very low risk. So that's something I did for my ankle. I don't know which joints you're having problems with, but the other thing I had was my right knee. I had a real big problem with my right knee. It was because of, I used to drive a lot. I would be in the car. It's about an hour and 15 minutes to work, an hour and 45 on the way back. So I'd be in the car about 3 hours a day. And that messed with like which muscles I use, and it was pulling my kneecap out of place. And it was a problem for about 5 years. And then I went to a chiropractor and fixed it in like a month. So like, if you're having problems, consider getting it looked at professionally, because I was looking up stuff online, and here's this move that you should do where you strengthen these muscles. I was doing the exact opposite thing I was supposed to be doing and making it worse. So like, consider seeing a doctor first of all. But so with that one, like, I just couldn't skate for very long, and I couldn't do a lot of stuff where I would jump up high. Like, putting a lot of pressure down and really putting force through that knee was a big problem. So for me, that was a lot of like flat ground, doing like freestyle stuff, which might not work for you because that's really dangerous for your ankles. You'll twist your ankles and roll your ankles a lot doing lots of flat ground and freestyle type stuff. But for me, not having to jump really high, that was the thing that worked best for me. So I'd be doing Caspers and like stuff where you just kind of hop from this to this, mostly balance based stuff, and that's what worked for me. But I think oh yeah, I was trying to do switch for that one too, because like, you pop more off of your back foot when you're trying, like when you're popping, you have more of your weight on your back foot. So since it was my right knee, I was trying to do switch for that too. Still never really got into switch, even after all these attempts to force myself to do everything switch. But I think the best thing, depending on which joints and how you feel, is to skate ramps. Like, find some transition and stuff like that, especially if you already have some skill with it. If you're going out there on like a half pipe for your first time, you're probably going to slam quite a bit and get hurt. But if you do have some skill with that, that's relatively low impact. You can have a nice line going, which is it feels good. It's nice to be able to put something together. 50-50 this side, do a front disaster on this side, come back, no stall, revert. And if you can keep that flow going and just kind of mix up new tricks, grind a little bit further this time, you can have pretty low risk of getting hurt and actually falling. But even if you're successful and you keep landing stuff, you're not really slamming down on anything. So skating transition of any kind is a good way to go, and it doesn't have to be at a skate park. It doesn't have to be like a mini ramp or something. You could find like a drainage ditch somewhere, throw a parking block on the top of it, do some old school style stalls up on there and stuff like that. That stuff may work for you. So hopefully that helps out. In the comments, put your low impact, I'm hurt, how can I skate anyway type of suggestions below, and there might be a little bit more down there for you too. Okay, next question is from Jeremy, who says, I've done some cruising around again after not skating regularly since I was a teenager. But as someone who's a little older, I'm worried about my feet a bit. I'm rocking Lakai shoes, but tear through insoles faster than I tear through the shoes now. He also wants to hear my take on Lakai shoes. I haven't skated those before. I usually skate the like entry-level, cheapest skate shoes you can get, or I buy whatever I can find like at garage sales and stuff, because I'm poor. So like, I don't know about Lakai specifically. I've heard good things about them. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with those shoes compared to other skate shoes, but it might just be the way you're putting them through stuff. If you're not doing a lot of flick tricks and like whatever, you might be wearing through the insoles quicker. There are skate branded like shoe inserts and insoles that you can replace with, which I think would be a pretty cool idea. So I did some quick research. I haven't used any of these before, so this isn't an official endorsement. They might suck for all I know. But the one I found is called Footprint. And they have a legit pro team with people I recognize, so it's at least not a scam. It might be kind of cool. They show some stuff about like how it absorbs impact more than just a normal shoe would, so that could help too. So I think that would be a kind of cool way to go. You'd be supporting a skate company at the same time. You could always go like Dr. Scholl's at Walmart or something like that, And I've done that before because my feet are really flat. And as a kid, I used to have these prescription orthotics that I'd have to go to a foot doctor, and they would make a mold of my foot every year and make me some new orthotics for my shoes. And I kind of grew out of, like, I don't really need that now. It used to be if I would just walk around for a while, my feet would hurt. But so I started getting these Dr. Scholl's ones as an adult, which are like semi-customizable. It's this machine you stand on, and it like measures where the pressure is on your feet and tells you which one to get. Like, that's fine if you want to do that. But if you're not having support issues and it's not a foot thing, it's just your shoes aren't wearing out, then I would consider trying the Skate branded ones. There are a couple. If you have reviews of Skate insoles, put them below. I don't know for sure. That was just the one that popped up when I was looking at it. Okay, the next question is from Ryan. He asks, why don't truck companies make their trucks shorter so they can use built-in risers and sell it as a whole product? It's supposed to help reduce pressure cracks, isn't it? So why not build them into the trucks? So that was kind of an interesting idea. If you have the base plate and then it has like a soft foamy part and it's just all built into the unit, I think there's a couple issues with that. First is that if they would like squish with impact a lot. I used to use different kinds of pads, like the impact absorbing kinds and stuff like that. And after a while, it would like squish out from the trucks. Like, it would be flattened every time you land, and it would just like squish out. And if you think about it's part of your truck, it's built into it, then you can't have it be soft and absorb, able to absorb impact, because it would wear out. So it wouldn't make a lot of sense to have it built in, because then the truck is ruined. Like, you can't do that. The other big issue is that a lot of people don't like to skate them. I did a video, someone asked about why people don't skate them before, and like a lot of people in the comments are like, no, I just don't do it ever. I haven't skated any in a long time, long time. Like, I don't know, mid 2000s I might have had some, but yeah, they're not that common. And so if they come with the truck and you can take them off maybe, then you're kind of just wasting money selling it with the truck. You might as well just sell it separately, because most people aren't going to use it. So yeah, I don't know, it's an interesting concept. Maybe if they come back in style, or there's a really new take on it that does something different, maybe, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, next question is from Gavin, who says, do you like the new style of filming? I'm talking about the trendy Instagram skate park videos. What is your ideal way to film a skate video? So recently, I think this is what you're talking about. There is this ad on Instagram. I'm going to see if I can find it. If so, it's right here. It's Chris Cole, and he's doing some tricks in a line. He's being filmed with a GoPro. And my first thought as I watched this line is that it just looked fake, because they're showing off their new stabilizing stuff, and it's just super wide. It looks like Skate 3 footage. There used to be this trick in Skate 3 where you could keyframe like how wide the camera was, and if you keyframed it to the lowest, it would go a little bit further afterward. Anyway, it looks super wide, and that's kind of what this looks like to me. Really smooth, perfect, like it's fake, and really wide, and it kind of comes across like a game to me. But on paper, like, nothing that I said sounds bad. Like, oh no, it looks too smooth. You can't tell when the filmer hit a crack because it doesn't shake too much. Like, that's not a good thing. I don't want to see the camera shake. I want it to be smooth, but when you actually see it, it looks a little bit off to me. But I think a lot of that is just the expectations of what we're used to. You're used to seeing someone holding a camera and pushing, like a normal sized camcorder, pushing behind someone. You can see their shadow. It's just a guy pushing. He's got soft wheels, so it's a little bit nicer, but like, that's it, And I remember when bigger brands started coming to skateboarding, like your Nikes and stuff like that. I think specifically it was Nike. They came out with this video. It was either a commercial. I don't think it was like a full length video or anything, but it was just like this commercial. And they were shooting stuff professionally, like you would do with a movie. So they would have this rig where the camera would come down on a crane and like do this down the stairs as they're about to do a trick down it. Or, like having stuff like that instead of just a dude pushing on a skateboard. And if you look at it from like a cinematography perspective, couldn't think of that word, it is better, right? Like, it is more dynamic. You're seeing like this really cool view from overhead as the camera like goes along this track that they have set up. Really nice professional camera, not just whatever the guy can hold. why didn't everyone love it? People hated that. They thought it looked terrible. But it's just because they're thinking of that as being like, this is Nike coming into skateboarding, like it's not legit. Skateboarding is about like a dude holding a camera. But I think a lot of that is just what we're used to and the style that we've seen so much. So if a lot of stuff on Instagram is a guy holding, or a guy with a GoPro on a stick, like a selfie stick, trying to get up real high and doing all this kind of stuff, it's different, and I think that's a good thing. If every skate video looks exactly the same, every angle is exactly the same, every line starts with a tray flip with a real nice low down angle, it gets boring. So people are going to do that. People are going to film stuff with drones, get like an overhead view of a line through a skate park or something like that. I think that's cool. And if that wants to be, you know, Nike style, really serious professional production quality, I think there's room for that too. But I can't help but have a soft spot for dude pushing, holding the camcorder. I think there's just really something to that. Makes you feel more like you're there. Like you can feel it more, I think it is, because the camera angle is like what you might see if you were skating next to him. It's a lot lower than normal, but like you're not flying through the air or anything. It feels more grounded, like it's more realistic, more your buddy skating and you just got a good view at it, as opposed to like a production. So I don't know. I know I kind of contradicted myself a little bit there. I love the traditional style, but I think there's room for new stuff, and I think there's room to experiment and to go beyond. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know if it did, but that's what I got for you today. If you came up with any questions of your own throughout this video, go to radratvideo.com, and there's a form right there on the homepage that you can fill out and submit it right to my email. I used to tell people to submit them through Instagram and Twitter, but I haven't really been keeping up with those. If you submit through the form, it comes to my computer as I'm working and I can file it away. If it's on Twitter, Instagram, I got to work after work by going through them on my tablet and stuff. It's a whole thing. Just use the site for now. I'm also putting together a Patreon that you'll be able to submit through. It technically exists already, but I haven't really like put it out there or anything yet. So that'll be coming in the future. One more thing as well, I forgot. The Grind King Disruptor truck that I've talked about before, that is supposed to be launching on Kickstarter on Tuesday of this week. I don't know when this video is coming up. That might be tomorrow, that might be yesterday, that might be today. I don't know. Check that out. If it's out, I'll put a link in the description. I know a lot of people have been asking me when that was going to come out. So that's it. Send me your questions for next time. And until then, make sure you tap my logo on screen to subscribe if you haven't already. And there are some more playlists and videos and stuff YouTube recommends for you to check out. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.